Hello, everyone. It's the day us tokusatsu and Kamen Rider fans have been waiting for. Kamen Rider Geats has officially been revealed, and oh my god. I cannot tell you how much I love this design. So, all the rumors of this being similar to Build and having an asymmetrical design with different shapes for the eyes, throw all of that out. That's not anything that happened. A completely different rumor mill came up with completely different things, apparently, and that is what was true. I didn't even hear about that. Doesn't matter at this point. Now we actually have official images and we have an official look at Kamen Rider Geats now that he's been revealed to show up in the upcoming Kamen Rider movie. And oh my. Oh, okay. So we gotta get this. We gotta get into this. So let's take a look at some of the images that we got from this. So for starters, look how hard the poster goes. Look at how cool the poster is. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love everything about this. I love everything about this. All right. So first off, we're gonna take a look at the top half of the design. We see a lot of things going on here. The face mask is done up like a traditional kitsune mask from Japanese culture, a traditional fox mask. Just for a little bit of background in Shinto religion, a fox is a messenger of the god Inari. It's the protector of rice, agriculture, and fertility. It's a god that can appear in the form of foxes. And they have many statues in Japan. They are offered rice for good harvests, and and it's a very traditional thing. You see a lot of similar like masks like this, either when not only in Japanese culture, but when someone in the U.S. is trying to imitate Japanese culture or design aesthetics. It's a pretty recognizable thing. Here, it just looks freaking cool. This is an absolutely awesome looking rider design. It does break a little bit of tradition in that we have no like gem crest in the center of the helmet. Not a big deal. But yeah, it is also after our previous Kamen Rider, it actually goes back to more traditional style design. We have properly segmented eyes. It's a very awesome look vestige to it, and we have a muffler. Wow, we actually have a muffler on this Kamen Rider, which is getting to be a pretty rare traditional element. If we look down toward the bottom of the design, we're going to see some other things going on here. So, one of the rumors that I did not hear about, but apparently was going around, is that this rider is able to switch armor from top to bottom. In this shot, it's a little bit harder to see because things are in the way. But if we take a look outside, you can see where the striping on here is asymmetrical. It's going under the left armpit and it's going across here down to the right thigh. So you could see where that could be rotated around. There's other shots we're going to get to actually see this a little bit better because there is actually credence to this. I will go back to that weapon because that's a really freaking good looking gun weapon. It doesn't give us any indication of exactly what the gimmick of the year is going to be. You can tell that it will load either into the top or the base of it. Hard to tell. Probably the base. That seems pretty close. And then we just focus in on the center there and we see the belt itself. We got a handle on it again, so it looks like one you can kind of rev up, and then what looks like it looks like a revolver, like the ammo chamber on an old 6-shooter. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's meant to invoke, but it definitely gives us an idea of potentially it might just be discs like that are the gimmick this year. I haven't really heard anything about that otherwise. Though you can see the holder on the side doesn't look like it might be able to hold anything like that. I have no idea. I can't make out what it is from this image. Oh well, I don't care. It looks cool. So we know that this is called the Desire Driver. You can see in the left side where it just says Sire Driver, but we know that it is called that because of other information that has been divulged. Let's get into some more of that. Okay, for starters, close up of the helmet still looks super cool. Other pictures that showed off, close up of the, well, not really a close up of the belt, tiny image. I love this shot, by the way. Let's look into actual information, courtesy of Toku Nation. Let's see, gear-like devices. So yeah, we're predicting those gears, those wheels, are going to be the gimmick. The cursory summary of this is: a young man will bet everything on a strange game, changing his boring life for something more exciting. The game of protecting the world. Could he be the last victor? The last victor part pretty much gave us a clue about what this series was going to be about. In previous in previous tweets that were about this series, as part of the announcements, Toei cited popular games like Fortnite as the inspiration, which means this is literally Kamen Rider Battle Royale. And considering the rumor currently says that 8 different riders will be using this belt to start with, and they're going to make belts beyond this, so we're going to see even more riders beyond that. We are facing a Kamen Rider Gaim situation, not only in the theme of the show, but also probably in the quantity of the riders. That's a pretty big thing. We got more info. So we're looking here. We have the name of the rider, which is Ukyo. Okay, so here it says Ukyo Hidetoshi, but someone else corrected it as Ukyo Asu, which is how he gets his nickname Ace, which is probably how we're going to hear his name more often. The contest is known as the Desire Grand Prix, a contest where players transform into Kamen Riders and battle the dangerous Yamato creatures. The winner of the Desire Grand Prix gains the right to reshape the world based on their heart's desires. That's a pretty big thing. So again, it is similar to Gaim in that the goal is to be the last one standing, and then you get this massive, all-encompassing grand prize, this incredible amount of power. So yeah, it does have a similar tone to it. And even in the rider being described as a boring kind of lazy life, trading it in for this kind of gets that across as well. Let's see, do I have a really good, I don't really have a great image of the rider himself. We'll go back to this one just for the sake of argument. So it has been pointed out that this rider has elements to his armor and to his design that actually does look like it can switch around. These shoulder guards, the pauldrons for instance, are also shaped as though they could be his knee guards. And if you see on the knee guards, they are shaped to be similar in design. Now that could be, just a given here. But he also does have similar bracers on his thighs and his biceps, as well as the ankle, which is similar on both the wrist, the shape of it, that is. So the idea here is that this rider is going to be able to swap forms without really changing armor. Just the armor is going to rearrange itself in order to create a secondary form. And if that's true, it looks like it could do that without even switching the gimmick. So that would actually be really cool. It would actually be a really cool twist if every gimmick toy actually had 2 forms to it. I don't know if that's genuinely where they're going with this, but it definitely seems that way. I'm actually kind of frustrated because I pulled up a ton of images beforehand, and it was supposed to show me a lot more of this. I had a shot, and I don't know what happened to it, where you can actually see the design in a little bit better detail, or at least you get a better full view of what he looks like. And I have no idea what happened to it now, unfortunately, but you get the idea. The theme here is that the armor should be able to switch around, and it's going to be interesting because you can see there's definitely other things going on that we're not noticing here, like the exhaust pipes on his ankles. He's definitely got something else going on. And I love the idea of the writer being able to switch forms with just his normal armor and not having to like swap a gimmick in order to actually switch up. It does make sense for a fox if it's going with the mythological version of a fox in Japan, which could shapeshift. Actually makes it quite thematic for a Kamen Rider who may potentially have, twice as many forms as standard. So, let's go back to this page, and we're going to take a look at the actual crew we got going on here. So, the writer for Kamen Rider Geats is Yuya Takahashi, who did work on X8 and Kamen Rider 01. So, very good resume there. I like the writing on both of those shows a lot. There's a few other names here. We have 2 directors announced. Shojiro Nakazawa. If we go into his credits here, we see he's done a ton of Super Sentai, going all the way back to Mirai Sentai Time Ranger. So he's a long-standing veteran of the directing chair for Tokusatsu. His main series was Zenkaiger. He acted as the director there for he was the primary director for that. He was a primary director for Geki Ranger, Shinkenger, and Nin Ninja, even though his episodes were a little more sporadic. It's weird how things work in Japan director-wise, because you see, like, with Maji Ranger, he did 14 episodes, but he wasn't the main director. Shinkenger, he did 12 episodes, and he's the main director. So, I don't ask how it works, but that's just how it goes. Alright, so, Teruaki Shugihara. So, let's see. Teruaki. I also have his resume pulled up. A lot of recent Kamen Rider series. He did episodes for 01, Saber, and Revice as well. So, yeah, it's good to have a current director in there as well. Just so we have something, to keep it, so between the two, you're keeping it tied between the traditional tropes of Tokusatsu and then getting in the modern stuff, which is not a bad thing. And then longtime producer Naomi Takeba. This one's fun. So this is her first Reiwa era series. Let's see what she's done. She's done a lot of really good stuff. So she was the vice producer for most of these series. And you look at the list. Agito, Ryuki, Faiz, Blade, Kabuto, Den-O, Kiva, Decade, O's, Gaim, Z-O. That's a big list, and then like O's, Gaim, Kabuto, Blade, Agito. You're talking about some of the better writer series that was under her watch. That gives me a lot of optimism for this series. And it is important that I do like that we have someone who is a veteran of Gaim when the theme does seem quite similar to Gaim's. So everything here is looking on the up and up. This is just exceptional. This is just like everything here just seems like it comes together really, really well. And we've got so much going on here. Oh, hang on. Right. This was a shot I was thinking of. So you can definitely see here where the ankles and the wrist armor have similar shapes to them. You can see where the knees and the shoulder guards might be able to switch around. I'm not saying that is exactly how this design works, but that's the rumor behind it. And if that is true, it would be an interesting twist, especially if like every form he takes has 2 different alternate modes. That would be super cool. I'm like really, really hyped for this. Aside from the fact I really like the fox motif, as someone who plays a ranger with a fox motif in D&D, I do really, really like this idea. I really like a lot of what I'm seeing out of this. The style is cool. The overall design work looks really cool. Everything down to the weapon. The weapon toy doesn't look super gimmicky. It just looks like a really, really cool fictional sci-fi weapon. I love it. It's been a long time. Like, Revice I kind of liked, but at the same, I liked well enough, but at the same time, I couldn't get around the fact that like the belt just looked like a toy and the stamps were just too hokey. They play value is good, but beyond that, it just looked too much like a toy. So to bring it back to this, where it's very technological, very sleek, very high tech, I love this. I absolutely love this. I think it's a perfect reset after our last series. Man, I'm looking forward to this one. There's really good people behind it. There's really good design work right off the bat. And yeah, the story intrigues me. It is Kamen Rider Battle Royale. You could draw comparisons to Ryuki. You can draw comparisons to Gaim. But, there's people who love Ryuki. And I personally really love Gaim. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing to revisit that overarching theme once more. And yeah, I'm just like, I'm happy. I'm happy. This looks like it's going to be super, super cool. All right, so that's what we got for Kamen Rider Geats so far for its announcement. Lots of really good stuff. Lots of really promising stuff. So we'll keep an eye out when if we find out a little bit more, especially as new riders start showing up. We're going to throw them in. We're going to do a few videos for that too. But until then, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for watching. Tell me if you're excited for this one. How much hope do you have? Because right now I have a lot of hope. Right now I have a lot of hope for this rider. I'm looking forward to it. So I will see you next time. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.